Okay, so rookie mistake, I filmed this entire video and I forgot to turn the microphone on. I've been doing this for like 2 years now and I still haven't gotten it right. But hey guys, and welcome back to Lisa Study Guides. I'm Lisa and today I'm happy to bring to you another essay question breakdown, this time focused on the text The Golden Age. So today's takeaway message is how we can use minor characters to help deepen your argument. I feel like a broken record when I say this, but even if you're not studying the Golden Age, I'd still really encourage you to keep watching because the topic that we're dealing with today is isolation in the essay prompt. And isolation is just one of those themes that is prevalent in many different texts, and I'm sure that it overlaps at least one of the characters that you're studying in any of the texts that you're reading for school. So by looking at other ways that people can break down the essay topic or looking at new perspectives on isolation, this can help you take away any info from this video and apply it into your own understanding of the text that you are studying. And that way you're actually bringing something maybe unique to the table because you're looking at isolation in a new light, maybe something that your teacher hasn't talked about in class yet, or none of the other students in your class will probably use a piece of evidence about isolation, blah, 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 blah. You get what I mean. So with that having said, let's just get straight into the background information. Joan London's The Golden Age is a novel about children recovering from polio in a convalescent home in Perth. She tells the stories of these various children, their families and their caretakers, focusing on Frank Gold and Elsa Briggs, the young protagonists who are just starting to develop romantic feelings for each other. Though they and many other children have faced much hardship and misfortune, London tells a story of hope and human connection in times of misery. On that note, today's essay topic is The Golden Age is primarily a tragic tale of isolation. Discuss. Let's break this prompt down and define some keywords. The keywords we'll be looking at first are isolation and tragic. We'll be defining them quite briefly, but be sure to think about these terms in how they relate to the novel. In particular, see if any scenes, passages, or characters jump to mind. Isolation is a state of being alone or away from others, and can be associated with a sense of powerlessness or insignificance. Tragic can simply mean just sad, depressing, and loaded with sorrow or pathos, but there are also literary implications to this word. You might have done a tragic Shakespeare play and learned this before, but in general, a tragic story centers on a hero who encounters misfortune and treats their demise in a serious or solemn way. Note that a good essay will discuss both these terms and will address not only isolation but also the question of whether or not it is treated tragically. The other important word is primarily. This word in the prompt suggests that the Golden Age is, for the most part, about these ideas. For you, that means you should ask yourself how central you think they are, and make a call on whether or not they are the most central. Well, it's definitely true that isolation and separation exists in the novel, but they are not primarily tragic ideas in the novel. London also explores how hope can shine through in times of hardship. In fact, the novel overall has a message of kinship and hope, and this would be the primary thematic focus, as well as the main treatment of otherwise tragic ideas. So how might this look in body paragraphs? Paragraph 1. Let's concede that the novel does evoke sadness through its frequently somber tone and treatment of isolation. We see this through characters such as Ida and Maya, who have been cut off from the world in their escape from their war-torn home and forced to transition from their landlocked Hungary to an island on the other side of the globe. Their struggle to adjust is evoked through symbols. For instance, black cockatoos, which represent a homely, comforting omen to locals, sound melancholy and harsh to Ida. In particular, London's solemn characterization of Ida as constantly frowning and as having bitter little mouth that usually gripped a cigarette works to emphasize her ennui or her dissatisfaction with being cut off from the world. Their homesickness is evoked through this constant longing for home, though sometimes much more literally. Maya feels that never again on this earth would he feel at home as he once had. Similarly, the story of Sullivan Backhouse, confined in an iron lung and physically isolated from outside contact, is also primarily tragic. London develops his character and gives him a backstory. He has just turned 18 and had been the prefect and captain of the rowing team. This gives the reader an idea of the life he might have had, if not for the tragedy of his condition. Even in spite of his good-humoured nature, his poetry belies the pessimism within. His book, morbidly entitled My Last Day on Earth, closes with the line, "In the end, we are all orphans." We can thus see how lonely he must have felt when he tragically passed away. Already in this paragraph, we've looked at 3 characters. Some students will do 1 character per body paragraph, but what we've been able to show here to the examiner is a consideration of the full extent of what this book covers. Let's continue to the next body paragraph. Paragraph 2. We disagree, however, since the novel includes various other moods and thematic material. In particular, London explores notions of resolve and hope in times of hardship. Now, the first character that comes to mind would have to be Elsa. London uses particularly powerful imagery, such as her translucent golden wave of hair, or even her profile, outlined in light to portray her as angelic or Elysian. For the children, Elsa evidently represents hope, even in her state of isolation. Her graceful and dignified demeanor and her quiet acceptance that polio was a part of her is courageous and worthy of admiration. Moving on to a minor character who was perhaps inspired by Elsa, the young Anne Lee, who was quite close to Elsa, also has a story which is more inspiring than tragic. When polio first crippled her, she found herself unable to give water to the Brumbies in her desert town. As a result, she perseveres, step after painstaking step, so as to be able to return home and give a drink to thirsty creatures. Her compassion and determination to work against her isolation become the focus of her tale. Paragraph 3. In fact, the novel's focus is on hope rather than tragedy. A range of other characters demonstrate the power of love and human connection in the face of adversity, and London seems to be focusing on these ideas instead. Plus, it's not just the children who are brave in the face of tragedy, but ordinary people who prove themselves to have the potential for strength and courage. Take Julia Marai, who hired Frank in their attic during the Nazi invasion of Hungary. Even though their apartment is on the top of the block and isolated in its height, suspended from the world, they become providers for Frank. London writes that in difficult times, kindness and unselfishness were as unexpected, as exhilarating as genius. And it's easy to see how these qualities form a counterpoint to the tragedies that permeate the novel, allowing hope to shine through. And that's the end of this essay. Being able to explore minor characters ensures that we are able to show examiners that you've got a deeper understanding of the text. You've considered it beyond just the main characters on the surface. The Golden Age is a fantastic one for this because London has done so much with her cast. So if you enjoyed this video, then please let us know. I wanted to give a really big shout out to Mark, who is one of my tutors on the Lisa Study Guides team. He has helped me write up this script, and he'll also be helping me write a few future essay topic breakdowns and reading and comparing breakdowns in the future too. So thank you so much, Mark. And for all of you viewers out there, if you liked this video, then please share and show us the love by thumbs upping this video. If there's anything in this video that didn't answer your questions, or you've got lingering questions about the essay topic, then leave them in the comment section below so that I can help you answer them, or you guys can help each other out as well, because the more collective our thoughts become, the more we can all help each other out. So in the past, a few of you have talked to me about sending through things to me, but I just never had the chance to get a PO box. So I finally went ahead and got one at the start of the year. So if there's anything that you ever wanted to send through, show the love, then it's just in the description box below. Of course, you can always email me as well. Email's down there. So that's it for this week. Can't wait to bring you more of these videos. I will see you next week. Bye!